back to Vince Fell Custom. So today I'm sharing with you an Ultimate Sabertooth garage kit that I just finished painting up. Now I did do a review on this a while back. You guys can go back and check out that video. I don't remember who sculpted it and produced it. I just got done putting him in here and everything, and he's just such a beast and heavy. It's pretty much a workout. So he does come with 4 heads, and he does have this crazy cape and base and all this stuff. And basically, the client sent me a bunch of pictures and wanted a specific look on how it was going to be painted, because he has a bunch of other Sabertooths in his collection, which I guess is one of his favorite characters. So he wanted to change this one up compared to the other ones, because he has one with like green pants and he has another one. So he wanted to make everything different. So he sent me a bunch of different pictures of how he wanted the fur painted and the jacket and the color of the pants, and we kind of went back and forth. Now, the only thing about this, I want to get it out right away, I guess, is the base. The base is very, very confusing. Now, he did come with a bar that sticks out over here on the side with a fence. And I told the client, I go, it does not make any sense for this item. And it's very bulky and it sticks out. And it doesn't make any sense, because is he on a mountain? Is he just on a snow area with rocks? Like, what's the bars and the lights on the bottom of the base? It's very confusing. So I guess we'll kind of go over it a little bit later. But other than that, the figure is absolutely amazing. I really love the pose. I love the sculpt. The detail is amazing. It's just the base is very confusing for the character. But so we'll kind of look over at the heads over here, because I'm not going to swap these in and out. So you can see it's basically you have 2 open mouths, 1 closed mouth. I'm not really sure on the versions what's what. And then this one here is sort of like the open mouth again. But this one right here, we did a little bit of custom work where he wanted me to put it like he's got the adamantium laced body, because I guess Ultimate Sabertooth has it. So we did a little bit of custom work where it looks like it's kind of ripped out, sort of, you know, like a Wolverine or a Terminator type of look on that. And then we just kind of went ahead and painted. So as far as the skin tones go, I had to sort of come up with my own little skin tone formula, and I'm working on that each project now because Garage Kits is done. So I'm working more and more with different colors. I'm trying to come up with different stuff. So a lot of the skin tones don't have that orangey sort of tint like the Garage Kit colors. So it's kind of coming more a little bit more realistic in a sense, I guess. I don't know. So, but it's working out pretty good. So the client sent me pictures where he wanted a black shirt. He wanted the pants to be like a brownish gray. Now in the pictures it might look just gray, but he has so much brown on him, like the boots and the jacket and the wraps. The pants sort of look a gray, but if you were to kind of cover all that away, the pants have a really gray, like a gray-brown tint to them. So that's kind of what we did with that. And I just tried to balance his sort of styles of colors he wanted with the figure, because I tried to change up a lot of the browns. Like the wraps, I wanted sort of a different brown than the jacket, and then the boots, I wanted a different sort of browns than that, because I didn't want to just mix up one brown color and slap it all over there, and then it's kind of And I also tried to change up the, like, you know, satin or flat and stuff like that. But all in all, it was a lot of fun. I mean, definitely a workout. These big statues really give you a workout. So I'm going to turn them a bit, but I got to be very careful because I don't want him to hit the wall, and I also don't want to hit the heads and stuff. So it's a very crazy kind of pose. So it's a little bit hard to see on the jacket, especially now with all the lights on him. There's some browns and there's some washes of dark browns and light browns, and sort of to make it look like a leather jacket. In the beginning, I did more of a reddish brown, but he wanted to go more with the more of like a darker brown. He sent me a sort of a picture, and the thing though is, when you send a picture of a leather jacket, because the leather jacket he sent me was more of a flat leather. It wasn't more of like a smooth leather jacket. It was more of like almost like a suede. And the problem is you can't match that because of the texture and colors on a suede compared to what's here. So I had to come as close as possible. So it's pretty hard to see in the picture, but like I said, I can't really turn him around. I don't want to break anything and stuff like that. So while I have him here, I kind of go into the boots a little bit. So he sent me some pictures of boots. He wanted like 2-tone boots. I put a little snow dash of stuff on there, but you have this little bit of a lighter brown, you have sort of this darker brown, you have the same color of that lighter brown, and then over here is like a 2-tone, and then there's a little bit of stuff like snow. So this is kind of more of like a wet snow idea than a like a puffy snow. So like a lot of this is like, you know, some of this AK interactive stuff mixed in with it, and it's kind of like, looks like it's melted snow, and it's got a little bit of a yellowish tint to it and stuff. So it works a little bit better than just, you know, slapping some white paint on there and just be like, okay, that's it. And he didn't want to go crazy with having all the snow on the jacket and stuff. He wanted to keep it more, you know, like he wanted to see the figure more. He didn't want snow and stuff thrown all over the jacket and all that stuff, which I kind of don't blame him. Sometimes, you know, if you throw too much on, it kind of throws it away. But that's where the base comes into effect, where is this base supposed to be a snowy base? Is it supposed to be a rocky base that's kind of a wet snow? Like, you know, like these things here, are these supposed to be icicles? Or is it just the snow coming off, or were those rocks? I'm kind of confused on this animal skull, because what type of animal is this, and is this something you would see in Canadian mountains in the snow, or is this more like a desert thing? So maybe one of you guys out there who knows the animal better, maybe you say, okay, that's something that is in Canada, and that's something you would see up there, or is this something that doesn't make sense to be here when it should be more in like a desert? You know, that's what I'm confused on with the base. I'm a little confused on where this base is going, because it looks like we have some rocks here, but were they supposed to be? I don't know. I'm just so lost on this one. So we didn't go too crazy. I gotta be careful. So, and then over here, this is what really throws me off. Is this sort of on the mountains of, what are these lights and these bars holding up? This is what's really confusing me about the statue. So I had a hard time talking to the client saying, what do we do? So all I did is I did some metal paint up bars with some wash of you know, making it bronze, looking a little bit old, and then these I paint up metallic lights with some little bit of that frosting I did up here on the lights, and that's all I could come up with, because I really don't understand the base. Honestly, I think this base should have just been a straight up snowy base with an animal skull and rocks, and that's it. This stuff should have been taken away, and it should have looked like a cliff. I think that would have looked better with the item. But that's kind of what I came up with that. So I don't know. We were both confused on it. We really don't understand the base too much. With that weird little fence in the bar, what they should have done is they should have had that fence there, but they should have actually bent it and sort of sculpted it into the thing, like he was actually stepping over the base, and then you could have like a fence sort of connect into certain points. That would have probably worked better than just that weird bar in the fence that was hanging off of it. I don't know. But other than that, I mean, the rest of the item is just amazing. The anatomy's great, the jeans, the wrinkles. What we did is we did a little bit of a sort of a chrome belt buckle, but I did some washes of the bronze from Citadel, and sort of kind of made it a little rusty. And then I used some of that other stuff around in there. I wanted that to sort of pop out, but we didn't want to make it so the whole entire belt buckle and everything is glowing. Just the buckle there, because we also, with the face, you know, having the chrome and stuff up here, you know, we don't want to go too crazy with that. And what he did is he did send me a picture of a fur jacket, and that fur jacket sort of had this like blackish, sort of whitish fur, and that's kind of what we did. But it was like a fur where sort of this part's a little black, and then this goes to white, and it's kind of, it was like it was a cool little fur jacket, so that's kind of what we followed on there. And then for the inside of this jacket, now it's kind of an off yellow. May look white in camera, but it's like an off, like, white yellowish color. Actually, growing up, my father had a leather jacket. It was like an old 50s biker jacket, but it wasn't really like, you know, gang bike. It was kind of more like think of like a Grease almost jacket, but it was kind of more of like a heavier winter one. And inside sort of had this texture, and it was yellow. And actually, my uncles and stuff, they all had sort of jackets like that growing up. You know, or showing my age, like born in '77 and up. So in the early '80s, they had all these jackets. So that's kind of what this texture screamed to me. Like, it's kind of like not pure white. It's kind of that off yellowish, like, you know, fur that would keep you like a warm jacket. So that's where we went with that. As far as his wraps, so we did some basic, you know, texture on there once I kind of, you know, went with that. And then I did a satin varnish over it to make it look like a little bit more of a straps that would be more durable than just like like flat straps, I guess you could say, so more of like a leathery straps. So like I said, I wanted to break up all these browns as much as I possibly could. So these straps have a little bit more mahogany in there too. And I kind of ran with the gloves to make it black gloves. And you can probably see it on this glove over here. Inside this glove, well, they're black, but right here I used like the rubber, like that gray rubber paint from whatever. And that's sort of those paddings that are in there, sort of like the grayish color. So sort of just to break all that up. And with his fingernails, I went more with the natural fingernails. I didn't want to go too crazy, like making them yellow. I've seen, you know, other paint-ups, and he showed me some examples, and the fingernails were like very yellow. I wanted to get it more natural, you know, sort of not like realistic, but more like him, where it's kind of more like bone instead of like yellow, you know, because this way it just feels a little bit more natural and better than having like these really dirty, like you know, fungus nails growing out of them. The teeth, I added a little bit more yellowish to the teeth because I didn't want them pure white. So, and then these eyes are just flat white because this is kind of like the Berserker Rage, where the other ones have pupils in them. And that's pretty much it. So he does break apart very well, but it's very, very tricky and very heavy. So the heads come off, the arms pop out, the hands pop out, but it was funny when I first got him and I was working on him, I had to attach this leg, because if we didn't attach this leg that was behind this belt over here, he would wobble and stuff and he wouldn't stay up. So this all, you know, the legs are all one solid piece now. I didn't know the upper body came off, so when I first got it, I thought it was glued in. And I was working on him, and I was painting up the legs and the upper body, and it was just so much work and everything. And then just as I'm getting done painting all the legs, and I'm painting all the stuff, all of a sudden this body must have came loose, because it must have been suction cupped in there with the rod. The upper, this black shirt part just come right off the body. And I was like, the whole entire time, I could have been painting that up separate, but for some odd reason, it was like suction cupped, and it made it feel like it was already glued together. But so I went ahead afterwards and I dremelled out some of the key parts, and I threw some glue in there and everything, and I put it in there, so now it's one solid piece. So that was a lesson learned. So yeah, it was a little bit tricky. And like I said, as far as like the base goes, it's very confusing. I just want to be very careful it doesn't topple over. He's very very heavy statue. Now, as far as the last thing goes with his skin tone, once I did all the skin tone, he wanted furry arms, you know, but there's no sculpted fur on him. So what I did is I went with a fine paintbrush and I just sort of kind of created striation lines. Now, he's blonde, right? So I didn't want to go ahead and just add light blonde hair, but I didn't want to just take black paint and throw black paint on there. So all the hair paints that I used on his heads, I sort of used in the arms. So I gave him a little bit of hairy arms, but without, you know, just slapping paint on there with a dry brush or anything. So I just sat there, I popped on some music, took a little while, and I just did striations of lines. And there is a little bit on his chest too. You might not be able to see it, but if you do look in close, there's a little bit of fur kind of coming out of his chest here. But like I said, he's blonde, so it's kind of more of this, you know, raw sienna, this blonde, you know, like this little bit of yellowish raw sienna hair and stuff, and that's kind of what I did on the arms. So yeah, like that's something to kind of think about. If you're going to do Sabertooth and he's blonde, he might have that blonde hair all over him, you know, so you don't want to just throw black paint on it. So that's kind of what I did with that. Yeah, and other than that, that's about it. I mean, that's the Sabertooth. I wish I could turn him around and show more angles and stuff, but he's so big and bulky. I'm worried about breaking the fingernails. I'm worried about breaking the hair and all this other stuff. So it's just one of these things that is the best I can show you. I'm going to take pictures the way he is now on the turntable for my, you know, portfolio and stuff, and and that's it. Normally I like to take these characters off the turntable, but he's so big and bulky I can't lift him up just to turn him. That's how heavy he is. This base is heavy and solid. They must have filled this in crazy, so it is pretty insane. But yeah, other than that, that's it. That's the Ultimate Sabertooth. It was a lot of fun painting him up. It was definitely a change of pace from other stuff I've painted. And I like the client's, you know, color scheme. He really had a cool idea and a vision on it, and that's what he wanted. Didn't want anything too crazy. It's a lot of natural colors on him. It's nothing like, you know, superhero bright stuff. There's not really many greens on him. It's more of a brownish, grayish sort of paint up, and what it does is it makes his blonde hair, because I didn't want to go straight yellow out of the tube. I wanted to make it like, you know, raw sienna, dirty blonde hair, and the skin pop way more than like the outfit popping. So you have this white base, right? But then you have sort of like that darkish figure, and then you have the bright yellow and stuff. So your eyes sort of kind of gravitate to here and then down here instead of like this popping out, and you lose all that. So that's kind of a good system of what he wanted painted up, and it worked out pretty good. So let me know what you guys think. Do you like the statue? Do you like the paint up? Do you like to see something different like this every once in a while? Let me know your thoughts on the base too, because I am still confused on the base. The whole base scene is very confusing. I'm not really sure where this is, what it's doing. I just wish it was more of just a rock cliff and take the skull out, and maybe tree branches would be better there, or the fence being like bent in underneath the foot into the snow would be better than where it is now. So I'm just a little bit lost. But maybe it's an ultimate story that I have no clue. Guys, point out to me in the comments. Maybe you'll help me understand it a little bit more. But there you go. That's the ultimate Sabertooth. Let me know what you guys think. Thanks for watching, and we'll be back with some more videos.